IBM FileNet Integrated Document Manager Desktop version 4.0.3. How to set up a desktop for Integrated Document Manager version 4.0.3, Content Services version 5.5 FixPak 1 for 64-bit workstations. This presentation goes through steps on how to install and configure Integrated Document Manager Desktop version 4.0.3 for use with Content Services. The following slides detail the steps and requirements for a successful installation that allows 64-bit workstations to connect to Content Services version 5.5 with FixPak 1. You will need the base install version of Integrated Document Manager Desktop version 4.0.3. You also need at least FixPak 1 for Integrated Document Manager Desktop version 4.0.3, FixPak 1 or higher. At the time of this writing, FixPak 5 is available and the recommended patch to apply to the desktop. Note that with FixPak 4, there is an installation issue where it installs into the default path. Avoid FixPak 4 if at all possible. If you have installed Integrated Document Manager in a directory other than the default, this patch corrupts your install. It is strongly recommended to apply FixPak 5 as there are some fixes related to Content Services. Copy the installation files locally to the workstation for installation. Next, you will need to enable the built-in administrator account. At the end of this presentation, there is a link to the Integrated Document Manager website. This page includes several video presentations using local and domain administrators that assist you if you do not want to use the built-in administrator account. You need to grant the Create Global Object rights to the user. This is a requirement for the Image Services Toolkit to install successfully. Enable the built-in administrator account. Integrated Document Manager requires an administrator to install the software. You can use a domain administrator account if required, but it is easier to install with the local account. The following steps are needed to enable this account. From the Start menu, search line, type MMC. If the User Account Control window opens, click Yes. This can happen several more times in the install, but it is not mentioned again in these instructions. Select File, Add Remove Snap-in. Highlight Local Users and Groups and select Add. Click OK to accept the local computer option. In the left window, highlight Users. In the right window, right-click the administrator and select Properties. Uncheck Account is disabled. Click OK and close all windows. Granting Create Global Objects rights is a new requirement for Integrated Document Manager Desktop version 4.0.3. It is required for the Image Services Toolkit, which is installed automatically. It is not needed when connecting to Content Services, but required for a successful installation of the product. In the Control Panel, go to the Administrative Tools and select Local Security Policy. Expand Local Policies and expand User Rights Assignment. Double-click Create Global Objects. Select Add User or Group, go to Advanced, and click Find Now. Highlight the user and click OK as needed to close all windows. Install Integrated Document Manager Desktop version 4.0.3. To run the installation packages, including the FixPaks, it is recommended to run them as the administrator. For the base installation, right-click on the executable and select Run as administrator. You must select the Image Services option regardless if you use it or not. The Content Services option is not valid with the base install. Choose the other options as needed. If you select Content Services, on the base custom installation screen, you receive an error that states that the Content Services is not supported on 64-bit operating systems. This is correct. Content Services is supported with FixPak 1 and above. Do not select the Content Services option on this page. At a minimum, You need to install image services and any other options as needed, or it requires a complete installation. Reboot the workstation. It is extremely important at this point to log back in with the same administrator account used in the initial install. Failure to do so results in a corrupted installation and files that fail to register. Grant rights on the TMP64 folder to everyone. After the installation is complete, follow these instructions to give the proper permissions to the folder. This is a required step. It is possible that this folder is not created. If it is not created, manually create the directory. Navigate to Program Files x86/IBM/IDM. If the folder TMP64 does not exist, create it. Right-click on the Temp64 folder and select Properties. On the Security tab, click Edit, then Add, Advanced, and Find Now. Select Everyone and click OK. In the Permissions section, click on Allow Full Control. Install the latest fix pack for Integrated Document Manager Desktop version 4.0.3. Reboot the workstation and log back in with the same administrator account. Verify that the installation is successful with no errors. When you run the fix pack installation, you are prompted to select Content Services. Proceed with the installation. Right-click on the fix pack executable and select Run as Administrator. When prompted, check the option to install Content Services libraries. Reboot the workstation as required. Give the FN Sys Manager account Run as Administrator rights. If you have local administrator privileges, do the following. Navigate to Program Files x86/IBM/IDM. Right-click on fnsysmanager.exe and select Properties. On the Compatibility tab, check Run this program as an administrator and click OK. FN Sys Manager loads upon boot up and needs this permission to do so. Add the ODBC data source. Microsoft places the 32-bit version of ODBC in the syswow64 directory. This is the one that needs to be used. Integrated Document Manager does not support the 64-bit version found in the /system32 directory, and you are not able to connect to Content Services if you use this version. If you have connectivity issues, check this. Navigate to /Windows/syswow64 and run odbcad32.exe. Warning: this is not the ODBC data source found in Administrative Tools, which cannot be used for connecting to Content Services. Create the ODBC data source as detailed in the Content Services Administrator's Guide. The instructions can be found in the Administrator Guide for Content Services if you need assistance in how to configure this based on the database you are connecting to. The example given is for Microsoft SQL Server. Follow the guide if you need to configure for an Oracle database. The link to the documentation is provided at the end of this presentation. Configure the Content Service Library. You are now able to configure a Content Services library after applying the latest fix pack. There is some nomenclature that can be misleading. The following values are input. Run IDM configure and add an entry pointing to the Content Services server. Library name is the label that is displayed. System is the database name. Host machine is the ODBC connection name. It is important to note Oracle is case sensitive, so you should use the exact case format for your database name. Host machine is the ODBC connection name you create in the previous slide. You should now be able to connect to Content Services version 5.5. The following resources can be used to supplement this presentation. Links are provided to that documentation.